Alright, I want to keep this short and sweet because I've tried this a lot of times and I keep going overboard. So, Thomas Pynchon, The Crying of Lot 49. I wanted to start off this video originally with a clip of Pynchon in The Simpsons because I feel it really captures the essence of Pynchon as a reclusive author and really what we know about him. There really isn't a whole lot of biography out there of Pynchon that can really speak for his work. And like we mentioned, he hasn't been seen since the 60s. So what we have to know of Pynchon really is just through his books and his novels, which he's done purposefully, I believe, and according to a lot of other theorists. But to get to the research, the three books I have been a huge help. First, we have by Tony Tanner, just Thomas Pynchon, which really explores like a bunch of his novels, including Crying of Lot 49, which I'll get to. But I've only read the introduction to this book so far, which is titled Thomas Pynchon and the Death of the Author, which kind of has a new criticism take on Pynchon and how we kind of attach or project so much of a book's meaning onto the author, and how with Pynchon's work, it's not that we can't do that, but in trying to attach meaning onto the book, like through the biography of Pynchon, you can't get much because there isn't much of Pynchon's biography out there. No, and a lot of essays that I've found, for instance, Shadowy Presence of Pynchon, which is by Paul Gray, suggests that Pynchon was, he kind of foresaw his being a reclusive author in the hope that readers couldn't do a whole lot of damage to him. And essentially, I mean, that didn't really make sense, but what Tanner suggests, which is a really intriguing point, is that as readers, we tend to use the biography of the author as kind of like a theory to speak for the book. And so that's really interesting. Next, we have the new essays on The Crying of Lot 49, which is edited by Patrick O'Donnell. This has been really cool. I was reading it this morning, and I've only read the introduction, but basically it suggests that there's just so many different takes on this book. Again, referring back to the fact that we can't, there's so many different takes on Pynchon's writing, so much stuff going on, like satire, humor, politics, just a bunch of identity shit. But what's really interesting about this book is that it suggests that we like really never get to the bottom of Pynchon's writing or what's going on in it because we're so fixed on this necessity for meaning, and to that we basically like will take whatever we can get and plant our feet in it and use that as the essence of the book, or make it the essence of the book. And really, the fact is that there is really no structure in Pynchon's writing style, which leads to the next book that I have, which is Understanding Thomas Pynchon by Robert D. Newman. This blank guy, but which is ironic. It's called Understanding Thomas Pynchon because really, the more I read this, the more confused I get. I guess that's just a theme with the name Pynchon, but this really just tries to talk about and explain Pynchon's writing style, which in places, I guess, the most sense I've made out of the book was that, which is kind of similar to The Crying of Lot 49, the new essays, is that we have like these preconceptions about Pynchon's writing, about postmodernism, and we try to use those to speak for the book, when in actuality, it's Pynchon's writing that speaks for itself, and that in order to really figure out what's going on there, like we have to kind of go into reading his book his works without these preconceived notions, without these um, ideas of meaning, and have not. Um, I found some other articles also which have helped a bit that focus more on the anonymity of Thomas Pynchon as an author. One of them being Pynchon's cameo, in which he was supposedly seen on set of the filming of his Inherent Vice, which is the first work of his that's been put on the big screen. And how, which is really ironic, is that the director tried to kind of keep Pynchon's anonymity intact, but not really telling even the cast that Pynchon was on set. Um, Another one that I found was The Case for Thomas Pynchon, in which it really discusses again the fact that Pynchon foresaw that he was going to be an anonymous author and that he didn't want his biography to really speak for his work, but his work just wanted to be spoken for itself. Um, and then a couple essays I haven't started reading, but have both seemed very intriguing. First, Postmodern Labyrinths of Lot 49 by William Gleason, which, from what I can tell so far, really engages with this idea of identity crisis through Oedipa and how this search for meaning um, in the Lot of 49 story really just leads to her deference from meaning. And then lastly, found an essay called Pynchon's Postmodern Sublime, and I know it should be good because Pynchon and postmodern are in the title, and that has got to be a good sign. But so far, the research has been really interesting. I'm really intrigued by Pynchon's identity as a reclusive author and what that has done for his work and for the reader, and what it says about finding meaning in literature, in composition, and just in culture in general. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Sorry, this is a little bit over, but yeah, good stuff.